Hello, welcome back to another Boleros podcast. So, we're here today recording right after that DLSU versus UP game. Sobrang crazy. We decided, oy, alam namin late na pero we just have to record this right now and we have to upload this soon kasi that was a crazy game. Gab, take us through that game. What are your thoughts?
First of all, ito, honest reaction. What a game! This is why we love the fucking UAAP. The twist and turns of a game. Tabak ang Lasal nung third quarter. Tabak ang Lasal nung third quarter. I think they were down by as many as 12, 13 points. I can't remember the exact score. They came back. UP took another lead, I think a 6-point lead. They came back again, and they finally hung. And we thought they had it. We thought they had it won. They were up by 8.
They were leading by 10. They were leading by 10
yeah.
with about a minute to go or less than 2 minutes to go.
And then UP suddenly racks off JD Gagulangan 3-point play, a missed free throw. I think it was a missed free throw by Kevin Quiambao, and then a 3-point shot by Zave Lucero. Another
Benga.
3-point shot off the glass from Steph Curry range by JD Kagulangan. Then finally, 2 free throws by Kevin Quiambao to seal the deal for LaSalle. This is the LaSalle we wanted to see, Sam. When we predicted them as our UAAP champions to start the season, this is the LaSalle we wanted to see. This was their best game in the season. Best game, biggest win. Adamson won earlier, so they've caught up with Adamson for that number 4 seed in the standings in the Final Four race. Wow, I'm wow, Sam. Grabe talaga. Edge of my seat talaga ako. Nagbubuhat ako, pero tumitigil ako ng sets ko. Dahil parang, what the hell is happening in this game? Sobrang kagaguhan. Ibang klase. This is what the UAAP is all about. This is, for anyone na sa UAAP, and this is what it's all about.
True.
Sam.
Okay.
Makahinga muna ako.
Okay. My turn. Yeah, so I agree, no? Super crazy game. Best game. I think one of the best games of the season so far. From two very competitive teams. I have to say though, I wanna say sorry to the LaSalle community kasi nag-uusap nga kami, nag-chat kami ni Gab and Maui kanina if we should do a podcast today kasi nga may 4 UAAP games tayo. And I actually said, mag-podcast na tayo ngayon. That was around the start of the LaSalle UP game. Sabi ni Gab, hindi ba natin aantayin yung LaSalle UP? Sabi ko, hindi na yan kailangan. Alam na yan. Alam na natin yan. Wala si Shawnee Winston. Hindi na kailangan yan. That's why I was pushing for, tara na, sayang oras. Sayang oras. Alam naman natin mangyayari. But I was dead wrong, di ba? In fact, I watched the game. And then, yun nga, I was telling Gab, nung second half na, nung natambakan na yung LaSalle, wala na, pinatay ko na. Naligo na ako, nag-ayos na ako, naglinis na ako ng kwarto, ganyan. And then, Gab just sends a message na, hindi ko na tiningnan. Tapos nag-send na lang na message si Gab na parang, wow, what a game. Tapos parang, oh, ano nangyari? And then, I go back and this is when, parang I think last 4 minutes of the game, when LaSalle was doing the run, when they move up to 10, and then they were up by 10, tapos I think it was about a little over a minute or a little under 2 minutes to go. Tapos nag-text na si Gab. Sabi ni Gab sa akin, we need to do a podcast. What a big win for LaSalle. Tapos sabi ko, nagtaka ako kasi I was watching on my app. I was watching on my phone. Sabi ko, panalo na ba? Sabi ko, baka delayed yung telecast ko. So, pina-forward ko, ayaw, live daw, live. Tapos, biglang, bang, 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 3-point play, 3-point shot, 2-point lead na lang. Tapos sabi ko, Gab, sure ka ba panalo na yung LaSalle? Tapos parang nag-text na si Gab, oh shit, hindi pa pala tapos. Oh shit. Ganun kabaliw yung game na to. you think it's you when you think you know the outcome of the game, things suddenly happen and then like it completely changes your expectations. It was a back and forth affair, sobrang crazy. And kudos to UP, like they were
This is
down
their
10
trademark.
points.
This
They
was
were
their
down
trademark.
10 points in less
Yeah.
than 2 minutes to go. I don't think any other team can do like a run like that. Maybe
Puso talaga ng UP.
NU right
Grabe.
now, but that was crazy. Tapos yun nga, as you mentioned, Gab, yung shot na yun may kagulangan from Steph Curry range. Tapos hits the backboard.
Crazy. Fucking crazy.
I really get panic attacks when I pag nahawakan ni kagulangan yung bola eh. Kasi ninenervyos na talaga ako kasi I know what he's going to do. Yeah. So going back to our discussion before, kagulangan, he's really one of the
He's,
best guards when he's
he's the
healthy.
difference maker. You said
Yeah.
UP looks different when JD Kagulangan is on the floor. They look different talaga. I'm sorry to
Although
Terence Forte.
to be fair to LaSalle, they won this game. They won this
Yep.
game fair and
Yep,
square.
they did. So just a few of my notes, just getting over some excitement. I'm gonna. I don't. Did you see the Mike Phillips dunk, Sam? That was, I
Yes,
think, the
sir.
highlight of the
Over
game.
Zave. Zave Lucero.
What
Ito ba
a
yun?
dunk over Zave! Yes, what a dunk! Napasigaw ako, whoa! And I think on the broadcast as well, Nico Ramos and Willie Wilson also were dumbfounded by the dunk. I think it's a dunk of the year. I mean, we don't have much dunks in the UAAP. I think that's
I was gonna say, wala naman masyadong dunk sa UAAP.
no, I think that's the only poster you're ever gonna see. But what a dunk by Mike Phillips! We finally had a good Mark Nonoy game. Diba?
Like crucial free throws din siya, di ba? Sa last,
Yes.
like I think 3 minutes to go or something.
Yes, and we talked about Mark Nonoy, and we've continually talked about Mark Nonoy a lot this season. How he's disappointed, because this is not the Mark Nonoy from UST. You know, he's underwhelmed very much. Even in these last few games without Shawnee Winston, he has struggled. He averages like less than 5 points a game. Mark Nonoy. And for this game, especially in the third quarter, that to carry LaSalle through the UP storm, it was Mark Nonoy making plays. I believe a lot of
ito yung part na na-miss ko Ito yung part na na-miss ko, so you have to walk
I think
me
he hit 2 or 3 threes in the third quarter. He was a pest on defense. He had a lot of steals. Admittedly, he had a lot of heat check shots. Alam mo yung mga heat check shots na alam mo.
Classic
Bad
Nonoy
shot,
heat
pero
check shot.
I just hit the previous one. I'm taking this one again. But yeah, Mark Nonoy, shout out to him, man. He finally had a good Mark Nonoy game. Another note from this game, Derek Pumaren, after 12 games in the season, finally deciding we are not playing Joaquin Manuel. He did not play. I don't know if he started, but he never touched the floor. Derek Pumaren, you are now the coach of the year.
No,
for just
pero
making
Gab,
that call.
I'm not sure if you noticed, pero nung nakita ko dun sa isang timeout ng LaSalle during a huddle, may naka-wrap around Manuel's arm. Napansin mo ba yun?
Oh, I didn't. So, if he was injured, lucky for them. Okay, so if he was injured, no kudos then to Derek Pumaren. But I think this is a sign for Derek Pumaren that they are much better off playing Earl Abadam.
The younger guys.
Yeah, or Earl Abadam made big shots in the fourth quarter, Sam. He had he made a layup of a fast break, missed his free throw, got the ball back, and made a baseline jumper. That was a 4-point swing. Then later on, made another mid-range jumper. I think this guy is pretty good. Honestly, it is a sign for Derek Pumaren. I mean, again, we've talked about Joaquin Manuel a lot, Sam, but he just doesn't make. I know he's the team captain, but he just doesn't make winning plays for LaSalle. They're much better off playing their other wings aside from Joaquin Manuel. I'm sorry, but it was a big difference. The activity on the defensive end by Earl Abadam, the shot making, the consistent hustle from the other wing players. It's just, and it opens up more minutes for even Mark Nonoy and Evanelli to play together. They wreak havoc on the defensive end. I don't know. So that's what's my other observation. What about you, Sam? Grabe, hiningal ako ron ah.
Yeah, you one thing lang, no? I think since hindi tayo nag-podcast nung Thursday, worth it to talk also about what happened nung Thursday. And it was Maui who mentioned na sobrang big difference, or sorry, it's a big difference maker yung game-winning shot ni Austria last Thursday. That sort of gave them the momentum and maybe the fighting spirit for them to sort of push the team or push each other to do better in this game. So you can see may momentum na rin talaga yung LaSalle coming from that like game winner, diba? They were such parang they were on the brink of of being kicked out of the Final Four. Imagine mo yun, if they lost to Adamson, 'di ba? That's you're not just losing a game, eh. Adamson is gaining another game. So because of that win and then another win today, they're now officially, I think they're tied for fourth, but I think officially sila ang fourth. If I'm not mistaken. Tinitingnan ko lang yung Wikipedia, and dito sa Wikipedia, officially LaSalle ang fourth place. But they're tied for fourth with Adamson. So I think that we can't look at this game without looking at that win from Adamson or that game against Adamson. I think you have to look at them together. Parang continuation siya. So
Yes, big
yun lang
wins,
naman
big wins.
yung added point ko. And you know, Shawnee Winston is still, admittedly their star player, diba? He was an MVP candidate before he got injured. So the fact that they won this game against UP, which was more or less complete, except for Fortea, diba? But more or less complete. That was a really big win, puso win for LaSalle. Siguro one last point for me for LaSalle lang. Finally, we get to see like a really good Kevin Quiambao game for us.
Yes.
Was just talking about Kevin Quiambao with my dad before the start of the game. Tapos kinukwento ko, parang disappointing so far si Kevin Quiambao. I think in the first quarter, may parang na-post up siya kay Zave Lucero. Tapos sobrang na-fakean lang siya. And kumagat siya sa fake ni Zave and he had like an easy layup. Kasi sabi ko, hilaw pa talaga tong Kevin Quiambao na to. Pinaglalaroan lang ni Zave. But, he showed up today. So, kudos to KQ.
He didn't just show up, Sam. He was unleashed. That is the
Unleashed.
Kevin
Yun yung word mo.
that was the Kevin Quiambao we wanted to see, and I was so happy with how he played offensively because he was aggressive and attacking. I mean, I don't know if he's because dahil si Carl Tamayo lang yung nagbabantay sa kanya dahil okay, I'm gonna bring it against Carl Tamayo. Pero he was aggressive. If you remember some in the past games, he would settle for these free throw line jump shots or yung mga one-handed
Yung
floaters niya
semi-hook
from
niya.
from mid-range. Ito hindi. He would attack Carl Tamayo and Zave Lucero. He would drive right, drive left. Hit them with shot fakes, pivots, spins. He gave them the bag. And even on the putbacks, everything. This was the Kevin Quiambao we wanted to see coming into the season. And it coincided with a good game from Mark Nonoy, a good game also from Evan Nelly. Just into this game. This is what LaSalle should be playing like every game. They were hard-nosed on defense. They were pressuring the ball handlers. And I don't know. They should give the ball to Kevin Quiambao and let him work. Run more plays for him because he has so much in the bag that he doesn't get to show a lot of the time. Kung minsan talaga settle lang siya for whatever shot is given to him. But when he's aggressive, ibang klase. So much opens up for LaSalle. So happy for him. That was by far his best game. By far his best game of the season. Kevin Quiambao. So fun to watch.
One last thing na gusto ko i-add about Kevin Quiambao. What does it tell you na nung last 2 possessions ng LaSalle, when UP needed to foul, they gave it to Kevin Quiambao? Was it more of just like out of because yun na yung play, walang ibang mapasahan, UP forced Kevin Quiambao to get the ball? Or do you think like Derek Pumaren really trusted Kevin Quiambao to make those crucial free throws, which, more or less he did?
No. Nung first, I think he shot 4 free throws. So, nung first time, parang sa emergency eh. The play was run for Evanelli and Mark Nonoy. So, nung nakita ni Kevin Quiambao, okay, no one's getting it. So, ako na yung pupunta. I think that was the first. The second time, the play was run for him to get the ball. And it was kind of a defensive lapse on Carl Tamayo. I think you saw it on the telecast. Carl Tamayo was kind of frustrated because I think he thought that he was gonna get a switch on the screen for Kevin Quiambao. But no one switched, so nalibre si Kevin Quiambao, and then he forced siya humabol and take the foul. He was kind of frustrated after that. So yun, and big shots, man. Those were, I think the whole UP crowd was on that side of the court, and they were screaming for him to miss, and big shots. Just big shots for Kevin Quiambao. What else? The shortened rotation, I think, helped LaSalle. Because it helped Kevin Quiambao get into a rhythm. It helped Mark Nonoy get into a rhythm. Sometimes kasi LaSalle really shuffles their rotation a lot. Alam mo yun, Kevin Quiambao plays short spurts. Di man short spurts, but he gets benched a lot. But ito talaga, tuloy-tuloy. The minutes were tuloy-tuloy. And you could see him get into a rhythm, get that confidence. So, I don't know. LaSalle is 5-7. They have 2 more games to go. If I were Coach Derek Pumaren, I would run with that same short rotation. Just Erla Badam and CJ Austria on the wings.
Sorry, Gab. Sorry. 5-6. 5-6 sila. LaSalle and Adamson. They have 3 more games to go. Ang may 2 games na lang would be FEU, NUU, EUP. Pero LaSalle and Adamson have 3 games.
So 5-6, they have 3 games to go. If I were Derek Pumaren, I would run with this short rotation. Mike Phillips also played a hell of a game. He was crashing the glass. Just like what Mike Phillips does. But I think that the difference maker talaga was Kevin Quiambao and Mark Nonoy. They had good games.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Siguro one negative lang for me from Mike Phillips. I think he still has that tendency to force his game inside. Yung magpo-post up siya, try niya i-post up yung defender niya. I don't think he can really create for himself eh. Alam mo yun, parang siyang just a bad example, Dwight Howard nung bata pa si Dwight. You know how Dwight wanted to get the ball in the post tapos siya yung magpo-post up. Pero alam mo namang like that's not his game. So
or si Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like that's something that Mike still has to develop. To not force, posting up or driving the ball. It's really not his game.
And to not bite on every shot fake. Yeah, I think Willie Wilson called it in the game a while ago. So he shouted out Mike Phillips saying, finally, Mike Phillips not biting on the shot fake. Because really, he's tall enough. I think I forgot if it was Zabe or Carl Tamayo who drove baseline. Then with a shot fake. But, Mike Phillips just stood his ground, hands up. He's tall enough. He's long enough. He does not need to bite on every shot fake. He has excellent timing. He just needs to have the discipline to know when to go up for the block and know when to stay rooted on the ground, just raise your hands up. And he made big plays. He made big defensive plays on in the last 2 minutes. Big defensive plays from Mike Phillips. What about from the UP
Okay.
side, Sam? What did you see from the UP side?
Uh, I think na-mention ko na kanina, honestly, they lost, but I think it was a good game from UP still. Kasi, like, again, I just can't believe na LaSalle, LaSalle was up by 10 points with a little over a minute left. And they were just up by 2 points with like 10-14 seconds left. Hindi ako makapaniwala talaga. That just goes to show how much mature this UP team is. And I think, alam mo, to be fair, I think factor din na, um, Carl Tamayo has said na he's not 100% yet. So I think factor din yun. He didn't really, although I didn't get to watch the whole game as I mentioned, but parang he wasn't a factor at least nung end game, no? And yun, may defensive lapses siya. But still, I think UP could have won it. Like just one more 3-point shot made, they could have won this game. So I really can't, take anything bad away from UP. Like I can't take this game away from UP.
Yeah.
It was just a really, really perfect or great game from LaSalle, but UP played really well here. Um, Crazy, crazy game for me.
Yeah, I agree. UP, grabe, the grit of this team is amazing. Talagang it's their trademark eh. I mean, no lead is safe with UP. No lead is safe talaga. And it's just scary to, and they're so deep. They're so deep as well. Maybe si mo si Fortea yung wala pa doon. Tapos, they can pull anyone from their bench. Si Cyril Gonzalez, si Alarcon. Dami talaga. Anyway,
Yeah,
Sam, let's move on to our...
yeah.
go. Okay, go.
No, I was just gonna say, and I remember nung last 2 minutes they had a few turnovers, and credit to the LaSalle defense, pero usually UP will not turn the ball over that much in the last few minutes. So imagine mo just, if kasi alam mo yung UP, if they don't turn over the ball, they will execute eh. They will really execute most of the time, lalo na kung last few minutes yan. And you saw how well they executed when they didn't turn over. I think they just had like a couple of bad possessions that really gave the game away. Pero if walang turnovers masyado during those last few minutes, we could be talking about a different result right now. Anyway, go ahead, Gab. What's next?
So, just, I guess, as a last topic for this episode, or this episode, yung let's just make it short. Let's discuss the standings, Sam. So, initially, we thought that sure, number one ang UP. Then it's a battle for number
Mm-hmm.
two between
Correct.
Ateneo and NU, and then a race for number four between the four other teams except UST. But now it's an interesting wrinkle. UP now has 2 losses. LaSalle, Ateneo and NU all now have 3 losses. Who do you think, Sam? How do you think the final four is going to shape up?
It pains me to say this, but I still think, well, right now, what I think will happen is UP and NU will retain the twice to beat advantage. I just watch UP and NU play versus how Ateneo plays. Yung UP and yung NU, they coast. Sobrang chill sila sometimes. Kaya medyo close yung game. And then they just turn things on. And they'll make like a 10-0 run in the last 2 minutes of the game. Yung Ateneo, hindi siya coast eh. Like, ganun din yung Ateneo, di ba? Nalalamangan sila sa first quarter, and kanina nalamangan sila 18, 19 points in the first half. Pero hindi, it's not like, for me, I don't know it's not like turning it on for Ateneo. It's more of parang buwis buhay na sila, kaya sila nakakahabol. I think that's what Maui said kanina. Buwis buhay na tong si Ange Kwame. Grabe, buwis buhay na si Ange. It feels more effortless lang para sa akin yung mga wins ng UP and NU. And I'm just looking at the games left. I think NU has an easier schedule versus Ateneo. Toughest last
Really?
two. First of all,
Against LaSalle? That's
first
not
of
an
all,
easier schedule, Sam.
NU 2 games na lang. LaSalle and Adamson. Okay? Ateneo 3 games pa. And it's UEUP Adamson. So obviously we still have to give UP the benefit of the doubt. They're the number 1 team. So we have to assume na, UP's the team to beat here. So I think given the remaining games and the standings, I feel like that's what's going to happen. UP's still going to be the number 1. I feel like NU, with the way they're playing, would unfortunately get number 2 or the twice to beat. And then LaSalle and Ateneo would be the last 2 teams sa Final Four.
I'm not
So
as
same
pessimistic
as
as
my
you, Sam.
prediction. Same as my prediction, but nag-switch na. I'm ranking NU higher than Ateneo right now. But go ahead, Gab. Ang galing talaga ng NU lately eh. Bad trip.
I don't know. The win by LaSalle gives me hope that
Fair enough, fair enough.
that we can upset UP on Saturday. God, I wish I was there, but it gives me hope. Yes, I agree with you, Sam. Ateneo's game earlier was sloppy. They were fucking.
It was
awful
so
in the
bad.
first half. They were so awful in the first half, but they do have these stretches where they're just so sloppy, and I think they get wake up calls, and siguro by halftime they get shouted at by Coach Tab Baldwin, and then yung nagising na sila, okay, time to execute. But I do think that we can beat UP, and I'm not confident as you, but with the way LaSalle's playing, I think LaSalle can beat NU. I'm confident LaSalle can beat NU. I don't, what the fuck, yung kumakampi ako sa LaSalle, pero I think they can beat NU. I really think they can. And then our other 2 games, UE and Adamson, I expect wins for Ateneo then. And what's UP's last game aside from Ateneo on Wednesday?
Adamson.
Adamson, yeah, I think that's a win for UP. So it all comes down to the game on Saturday. I think.
Ay, sorry. Ateneo na pala yung last game. Ateneo na yung last game.
Yeah, but they have a game on Wednesday. They're second to the last.
UST.
Okay. More, it's there. So it all comes down to the game on Saturday. There are high stakes. If Ateneo can force a tie for number 1, if they win on Wednesday against UE, I think this is gonna be amazing. For if there's a tie for number 1, if there's a triple tie for number 1, I think it's quotient. Ang alam ko
quotient.
In the past, kung triple tie, I think we go to the quotient. But if they're tied 2 teams, I think we have a playoff. Yeah, I believe that.
So essentially, it's like a best of 3.
3, yeah. It becomes a best of 3. So
okay,
I do have hope. Although the odds are against Ateneo, but I do believe that we can beat UP. I mean, it's a tough game. Really tough game, man. UP is just so deep. And what about for number 4? So i-discard na natin yung top 3. They have their race there. What about for number 4? Who do you think is getting that number 4?
Sa akin, easy. Ever since we did this prediction, start of the season, mid-season, until now, I still have LaSalle as my number 4. Like, I really think, LaSalle is just too talented. Honestly, like, compare mo lang talent ng LaSalle versus all the other teams that are vying for number 4. FEU, Adamson, UE. Oh.
But what are their games left? I think that's the key. So,
Okay, so LaSalle has NU next and then UE and UST na lang. So, kung isipin mo, NU lang talaga yung pinakamahirap. I would
UE
say.
beat them in the first round.
That's true, that's true. But we'll see. Medyo losing streak UE right now. So NU
I
yung
think
tough one. No? The other teams that
Adamson.
are vying for it, Adamson naman, Adamson has Ateneo, FEU, NU. So
Oh,
it's tough for Adamson. Mahirap the last 3 games.
alright, alright.
So ang
Okay,
ang
that's tough.
order
That's tough.
actually is FEU, NU at ADMU pala. Sorry. Yun yung order. That's tough.
That's
That's
tough.
tough.
Yeah. Okay. I have to agree. I think FU and UE are still in the running, aren't they? They're like
Correct.
4-7 or 4-8.
4 and 8. 4 and 8.
Yeah, but that's tough. You're like wishing that either both Adamson and LaSalle drop their uh
Drop
two
2
of
games,
their
'di ba?
yeah
Oh,
at least two
exactly.
games of their last three,
Last 3.
and then you have to win
Your
at least
last 2.
one. Uh, you at least one to bring you to like 5-9, right? Ay,
Hindi,
sorry.
kasi
Yeah, they had to win two.
they have to win,
Yung
must win na yung last 2. Must
yeah,
win na yung last
they
2
had to
nila.
win both.
So it's really
With
LaSalle
you,
and Adamson
yeah,
that
it's really
that
LaSalle and Adamson.
that's fighting for that spot. And Adamson has the tougher schedule. So for me, if you look at it from the standings lang and the remaining schedule, LaSalle talaga eh. This is LaSalle's
Okay, okay.
spot to lose.
Okay. I see your point. I see your point. Good point. Good point. With that schedule, I think LaSalle has this in the bag. Well, supposedly, if they played the way they played a while ago, goddamn, they have to make the final four. And ito, Sam, if LaSalle makes number 4, would you want the number 1 seed?
Um,
Who would you rather face?
Hindi, kasi gusto ko LaSalle Ateneo Finals. LaSalle UP, di ba I told you, ang dream ko is LaSalle UP prelims and then Ateneo and whoever. So Ateneo NU. And then, so Ateneo, and then finals, gusto ko Ateneo versus either LaSalle, kasi rivalry, or Ateneo versus UP, rematch of last year, or last season.
Interesting. Diba? Pero, see, if you're the number 1 seed and you're facing LaSalle, and imagine if they've won all of their games heading to the Final Four, I don't think you'd want to face LaSalle. This is just
Nothing
like,
to lose na eh, no?
diba? This is like the NU team in 2014 and the UST team in
Yeah.
2006.
Correct. Tama
Diba?
ka dyan. Fourth placers yun, di ba?
Fourth placers who have nothing to lose, who are peaking at the right time. I'm gonna say it again. If they stick to this short rotation, I think you're gonna see peak LaSalle. If you give Kevin Quiambao enough opportunities, I think you're gonna see peak LaSalle. And if I were the number 1 seed, matatakot ako na LaSalle kalaban ko sa Final Four.
Correct.
The UAAP is great, Sam. The UAAP is great. Amazing.
I think ito yung isa sa closest standings we've had in a long time. Kasi after today's games, you really don't know who will end up in the Final Four. There are essentially,
Yes.
you could essentially have, all the teams, any of the 7 teams except UST, make it to the Final Four. That's how close the games are right now. And even yung order, diba? Like UP is guaranteed a Final Four spot. But now you don't know kung first ba sila, second, pwede pa sila maging third.
Yeah.
Alam mo yun?
Oo nga, yes.
It's crazy.
They
Pwede
can
pa sila
go
maging
down all
third.
the way to 3. Oh, I didn't consider that. Crazy. That game talaga did so many things. Anyway, Sam, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Game changer. So, ano
What a
yung
day.
game
What a
sa
day.
Wednesday? Alam mo yung 4 games? So all the teams ulit on Wednesday. Tama ba?
Yeah. I do want your take on this. How do you... I assume you don't like this 4 games a day schedule.
Kasi sobrang draggy. I mean, buong araw ka ba manonood ng UAAP? Honestly. That's why, di ba, I told you, I wanted to skip the LaSalle UP game kasi I'm so tired from watching all the other games. I'd rather just watch 2 games a day, honestly.
Also,
Plus, you have work, di ba?
Yeah, also on a
On a
weekday.
weekday. Yeah.
Who the hell is gonna watch 11 a.m.?
Correct.
Diba? I messaged you guys in the chat. Does the UAAP want ticket sales? I mean, what the hell, man?
We'll see.
I really don't get
think,
these 4 a day.
No, I think kasi nagka-cram na sila ng other sports. Nakita ko nag-post sila, may table tennis na rin, UAAP table tennis. So I think they're really trying to finish things as fast as they can. Given that there were delays, remember, because of the Gilas break. So I think that's the reason why. So we'll see. Hopefully next year.
But they didn't have a game yesterday. Well,
Siguro to give people a break. I don't know, honestly. Okay. So we'll see how things go. Hopefully the schedules will normalize by next year. But that's it for today's podcast. We really just wanted to talk about that LaSalle UP game, that crazy LaSalle UP game, and the repercussions of that win by LaSalle and how it affected the standings moving forward. So we'll see you again next week. Hopefully, we'll have a clearer picture of the teams that will make it to the Final Four next week. And which teams will take the top 2 spots and get a twice to beat advantage. So comment down below share with us your thoughts. Ano tingin nyo? Sino yung magiging top 2 teams? Who will make it to the Final Four? We'll talk more about them next week. If you haven't yet, don't forget also to like and subscribe. Thanks for listening. See you next week, guys. Bye.
See you.